Start over.
Dear me. Once he said, I was forced to take shelter from my enemies in a ruined building where I sat alone for many hours. During that time, my mind, from my hopeless condition, I fixed my eyes on an ant that was trying to carry a grain of corn, much bigger than itself, up a high wall. So he's watching an ant do this. I numbered the efforts it made to accomplish this object. The grain fell 69 times to the ground. But the insect persevered, and the 70th time it reached the top. This sight gave me courage for that moment, and I never forgot the lesson. Watching this ant carry a grain of corn up a hill, and he dropped it 69 times. And the 70th time he was able to get it up over the hill. A grain of corn. Now, a grain of corn is quite a bit bigger than an ant. Prayer, which makes the fact that most prayers have not been answered for a reason, has already ceased to be a prayer of faith. To the prayer of faith, the fact that prayers remain unanswered is only evidence that the moment of the answer is so much nearer. From first to last, the lesson example of our Lord all tell us that prayer which cannot persevere and urge its plea and renew itself again and gather strength from every past petition is not the prayer that will prevail. Rubinstein, the great musician, once said, "If I omit practice one day, I notice it. If 2 days, my friends notice it. If 3 days, the public notice it." It's the old doctrine, practice makes perfect. We must continue believing, continue praying, and continue doing His will. Suppose along the line of art one should cease practicing. We know what that result would be if we would only use the same quality of common sense in our religion that we would use in our everyday life. We should go on to perfection. The motto of David Livingstone was in these words, "I determine never to stop until I come to the end and achieve my purpose. By unfaltering persistence, the faith in God he comforted." Now, David Livingstone was that missionary in Africa. And we visited his grave in the floor of Westminster Abbey in England. And right there on the floor is written John 3:16, the gospel in a nutshell. I determined never to stop until I come to the end. When you're at the end, you have to stop. Lessons you learn every day from that little book.